Hey, Instagram, via the internet. This, me, is T from the Patterson, taking trains to Tibet. I'm going to let you know right now what I only suspect, because this is a grand rising report. Now, let me tell you something. I can't, ever since, ever since I was a young tyke means a little boy, a little baby boy. Ever since I was a young tyke in the Mount Haven section of the Bronx, I'd be getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. No, I just wake up. A lot of times, I only went up. When I said only went up, I mean, there's my three sisters in one room, and me and my other two brothers in the other room, because Pat's brother. And there's another bedroom my grandmother slept in, right? And I get up and I wander, and lo and behold, my grandmother's there reading the Bible. Luckily for me, she just be reading the Bible like her time, you know what I mean? I didn't say nothing because I'm one of those people that first of all, I don't like to wake anybody up. Plus, I don't really like to interrupt people, you know what I mean? Even if I come to a place late, I try to sneak in. I'm sorry, I had messing up the lecture. You know, you go, think of somebody coming to a space, people are doing their thing, you late, and the first thing you go in there and you say, sorry, I'm late, what? Now you're late, now you're disrupting the flow, you know? And, I'm sorry, I will. The point is, she never said anything, I just sit there, and I just putz around there. In fact, I sit quietly, I be looking. I've been a scout all my life. I'd be looking, right? And the interesting thing is that she never said, come here, boy, let me read this. It was like her, she didn't make me read the Bible or not read the Bible. I thought, hey, I guess, Blue Light Brigade, shout out to you, Blue Light Brigade. At sunrise just happened. Seemed like the light change, right? Hey, look, I did some of my stretching already, right? Then I said, let me do this report, in blue light. And then I hung something out. Then I came back here. So, but when I finish, I'm gonna go back to do that. So, Blue Light Brigade, you know what you got to do. So don't be fluffing. Just because interruption is all right as long as you keep on the flowing. Okay, see, interrupt the flow. Get that, put that all together. Non sequiturs like that. Anyway, the point is, there's an evolution to everything. Okay, now I'm really saying stuff here. I call myself an evolutionary in life. I'm an evolutionary. Things keep on evolving, and I just go with the flow. When I say go with the flow, I do what, Frederick K. Price used to say, for his little, come from the Bible, someplace like that. I know the thing, but I walk by faith, not by sight, which means I really go with the flow. The flow being the flow of, of love, the flow of the Great Spirit, right? So, I'm saying, I get up, I wake up, and then I go to bed early. I usually get my 4 hours of REM sleep. I mean, when I get that REM sleep, that's it. I'm done. You know what I mean? I learned this from self-hypnosis, I think. Anyway, the point is, then somewhere, right before 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe 1, something like that, I wake up. I might futz around. I might try to go back to sleep, whatever happens. But usually, something happens, and about 2 o'clock, something like that, I start thinking, and then I start writing. Now they tell me this that somewhere between 3 and whatever is the writer's hours. Hey, and if a special force is going to come and get you or something like that, special forces. I guess the police learned this from special forces because they all trained by the same people. You know what I mean? And they come banging on you at 2 o'clock in the morning. Really like that. I'm up anyway, going like, somebody gonna sneak you in. They can't get me. Well, they can get me, but I'll be up. I know they're coming. You know what I'm saying? This is the way I am. I took a train ride one time. I was going from Cape Town to Johannesburg because I was going someplace. I forget where I was going. I was on a train, right? And it's like the night. Anyway, I go on the train, and automatically again, I'm woke up about 2 o'clock. I'm woke, whatever it is. And the train starts, I know the train starts slowing down, keeps on going and slowing down, keeps on going and slowing down, keeps on and slowing down. What's going on? So I look out, I see a couple of, look like, cops, something like that. Then some more cops. And then some more cops. And some more cops. I said, and I'm just looking out there, seeing what's going on. Everybody in the train is asleep. I must have been riding in a, I wasn't, I riding not first, in a cabin or whatever those things are where you have a bed there and stuff like that. And so I say, oh, okay, this is interesting. It gets to outside the train station and it stops, right? Comes in, all these cops start flooding in, and they looking around. Takes them a while, and it ends up that there was a robbery in a casino someplace, and they think the person got into the train, right? Okay, but there was like tons of law enforcement out there. I mean, when I say tons, I mean tons. There must have been at least, okay, I'm not exaggerating. You think I'm exaggerating, but between all the things, it must have been like 300. Okay, I use the number 3, whatever. It was about 300 tons of police, right? Ends up, there was this woman. She robbed a casino, right? I don't know how much she got. Maybe she got. I don't think it was that much. I mean, maybe she got. I'm gonna say 70,000 rand, but let me up it so it make like it makes sense. Like 700,000 rand from this casino that she robbed, right? She couldn't have that because that's too much money to carry. Look, it was something. Let's say it's 120,000 rand. I don't know, some kind of rand, right? Ends up she's hiding, and like I don't know what. No, maybe I wasn't in first class. I was in wherever I was. But ends up she was hiding in a first class, whatever, a car, right? And they finally got her, right? And I'm thinking, if she got 70,000 rand or 120,000 rand or 300,000 rand, how much overtime was all these people paid? I mean, and my brain is trying to calculate all the overtime or whatever it costs to get all these people here, and it ends up then of course not rationalize, but I'd be thinking, I'd be trying to make sense of stuff, right? I said, of course, they don't want nobody to get away with something like that because, well, first of all, it's overtime for them. Okay, a little cynical there, but also it's their reputation. Maybe the casino. Whoever, you know what I mean? If you could rob our casino, it's like the Old West, you know, they rob a train car and they got the Pinkertons or whoever it was after this, okay, which cats they said that's, sorry about that. Okay, let me go back to this evolution. So, yeah, right, then I thought, okay, now I say, okay, so I said, well, I had to start writing, so I did write something. I started writing my book right here, because I started to think. No, I look on the thing, and there was something, about tribalism in South Africa. I'm not in South Africa right now. I'm actually in India, but I live in South Africa normally. But I'm here for a healing thing. But don't worry about that. Bro. So they had this thing, the subject of tribalism in South Africa, to which the brother responded, and then I responded about tribalism. I'm not going to read the thing because I'm not going to read it to you, but it's really interesting. But basically, what I've done, I basically said that it's in. I focus on one particular tribe. Let's put it that way. One particular grouping. I like to say grouping. The reason why I say grouping is because when you say tribe, then you've identified something. I say grouping, that's more general. If I say tribe, you've identified a thing, and then people they have their feelings about that thing, that grouping, right? So I like to say groupings. Plus, it's more accurate to me. Like for instance, in certain places they speak this language, that language. Right next door they speak that language. It's a blend of those languages, right there. But they identify that kind of people, that kind of people, like that. But they're the same people. It's just that, because geographically they've been moving around. The thing that unifies them more than anything, more than colonial borders, is really language. I mean, if anything, which is another thing. People, the class struggle. What class are you talking about? I know you got the lumpen proletarian, you got the middle class. Yeah. I like that lumpen proletarian thing. It's cute. It's a cute thing. It's like the lumpen proletarian. You get that from Marx, something like that? I guess if you say Marx, you really say Engels. So I don't know. I'm not interested in it. Okay. then you have the middle class, and you have the upper class, then you have the elite class like that. But there's also this thing, there's another class they haven't identified yet because they're still stuck on Ingalls and stuff like that. It's a language class. And in that class, there's gradations of language. It's a language class. There's more, in other words, and everybody's trying to speak that language. Everybody tries to speak the English language, for instance, because that's the language of the computer, the language for aviation, language, whatever. So it behooves a person, whatever other language you speak, and to know something about English because that's a more, I won't say unifying language, it's a more language that's or over the place, let's put it that way. Okay, so anyway, back to the point. So I don't want to. I mean, I've written down what the grouping is, the tribe is that I identify, but I don't want to say it out because if I say it out, I don't even want to record what I wrote. I think I might just leave it. I just might leave it like that because you say it out. Then you have people that are for what you said, against what you said. You have people going coming after you, da 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 da, ooh, and then all of a sudden, before you know, you're strung up somehow, you know. So I try to avoid things like that, you know. And the other thing, on the same vein, if you will, I was listening to something about Commander Ibrahim, you know. I call him Commander Ibrahim. I know it's Captain Ibrahim Commander Ibrahim to me, right? You know, when he first took over, there was an attempted assassination on his life. Of course, you know, because it was attempted assassination, right? Now, interestingly enough, he's not pardoned. He let those people go. He sort of pardoned them. You know, let's say he pardoned. He let them go, right? And then, like a year later or something like that, there was like another assassination attempt, and then within a month, another assassination attempt, right? Now, what's the lesson that Commander Traore learned that? Commander Ibrahim learned that. He learned that, hey, I try to be a nice guy. I try to rationalize this kind of thing. And some people looked at it and say, oh, that's first class, top shelf. Other people say, that boy a punk. We need to do this 2 times within a month. We plot and plan for a year, then we gonna get that boy. See what I'm saying? So he had no choice, the next people, to do some stuff, you know what I mean? But now he came, but then another thing, the reason why I got this whole thing, because it was reported that there was some doctor mouthing off, blah, 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 blah. Oh, the military, blah, 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 blah. And who blah, 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 blah. We need to have a civilian company, blah, 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 blah. We need to have, the democracy back, blah, 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 blah. This is the doctor. Okay. Couple of things. First, you expect any civilian or any doctor, when you have whatever, people who had democracy and were being paid during democracy to want it back because their source is like cut, you know what I mean? They wouldn't want it back, right? Meanwhile, the military guy, he's saying, you're going to have it back, but first you're going to get this stuff straight. So this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's my take on this whole thing. The reason why I like Commander Ibrahim is that I believe he is well read. He is well read. Okay. Now, in case my guy is the colonel in Mali because the library is there, but I respect Commander Ibrahim. He is well read. I'm not sure if he read this book, but there's a book that I read when I first came to South Africa. I read the Wit series, but I want to get into that stuff. Quite funny. But there's a book I got early on, in that first year I was there, I read Louis Nkosi's book called Underground People. Louis Nkosi, he would, Come Back Africa? There's an underground film that was made. He's one of the writers in it. He makes a little appearance in it. Mary McCabe was singing in it. It was serendipitously, whatever. It was filmed, right? And then he went on. He was at the time anyway. He was writing for Drum magazine, very famous thing. And he wrote other kind of stuff like that. But the Underground People is about this administrator, right? And through circumstance, this during the struggle, Contra with Sizwe and all the rest of the struggle with South Africa. or maybe it was a fiction. Anyway, it was a struggle kind of thing. So he, through circumstance, he had from being an administrator, given that he had to actually go and fight, on the front lines. So you get this two different perspectives. Now, it's a great book. It's a great, insightful book. Out of all the stuff that he read some other stuff, Medieval something, whatever. I read that one. I didn't like that, but the point is, he wrote a lot of books. Well, not a lot. He wrote some books, right? And that's a great book. And I figured, Commander Ibrahim, he must have read that book. Maybe he didn't. I'm an audio dramatist. I can make this stuff up. If I was making and because that's what he did. He took this doctor and gave him a rifle, whatever, put him on the front lines. Now I guarantee that boy, that doctor, that doctor, who do no harm, doctor, you can do harm with your mouth too. You know what I mean? Anyway, do no harm, doctor. The Hippocratic oath. We need to start saying the Imhotep oath. No, they do the Hippocratic oath because they be hypocrites. You know what I mean? Them doctors, they speak just like the rest. They say they're going to do that, but no, they do some other stuff nefarious. Let me go off on them. I used to be in the medical field. I want to get into that stuff right now. Here we go. So I guarantee that boy, they got a different perspective now. Because he had the perspective of somebody mouthing off, blah, 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 blah. Now he's fighting with the people he was criticizing, and that's a whole different thing because, first of all, you better make friends real quick because this person just got your back, but you're supposed to have their back, and it's not like being no doctor where you can do what you want to do, and you giving orders, and your underlings are, no. You ever hear a thing called fracking? It's very popular in the Vietnam War. Why? Because they would helicopter these people fresh out of whatever, West Point or somebody's academy, Air Force academy, whatever, not the Air Force because we support. They fresh out of whatever, and they would be in charge of some troop that had been fighting in Vietnam for like at least 18, well, let's say 6 months or 7 months or 10 months, right? And then he'd be in charge of them. And then because of his book knowledge or whatever, he'd be doing some stupid stuff. And they go like, this boy gonna get us killed. It's either him or us. And so the boy ended up dead. Why? Well, friendly fire, fracking. You ain't got our back because you ain't even listening to us. You're gonna read what you read and think something that Ramos said or whatever it is. This is Vietnam. This ain't no 1776. Lined up. No. This is not even no. Actually, it's probably more. It's probably more like the Indian Wars. And no. They got tunnels. And no. So anyway, so he learned his lesson. I'm talking about not the doc. I don't know if the doctor learned his lesson. I hope the boy's still alive. We need to get a report. I guess he'll write a book. We'll get a report from him sooner or later, right? I guess he'll be around because commander is one thing. Commander, he take care of business. But the commander learned his lesson. Hey, something happened, got to deal with it. So anyway, that's the Grand Rising report for this morning. See, this is World Day. I take them to things of the world. So later on tonight, I do a world thingy, whatever it is. All right, y'all take care. Be well.